Hello, my name is Mark Twite, and I'll be introducing you to the Protective Combat Uniform, guiding you through the process of putting the different pieces together to address different environmental conditions and levels of activity. I have two assistant trainers here with me. One is prettier than the other, but both are exceptionally well qualified. Speaking of qualifications, you might be wondering why you ought to listen to me tell you how to wear your long underwear. And it's because I have quite a lot of experience in cold weather and high mountain environments, and I have a pretty unique relationship with special operations. I spent 20 years climbing mountains professionally. I visited the Himalayas 7 times, spent 5 years living in the French Alps, a lot of trips to Alaska, climbed frozen icebergs floating off the coast of Antarctica, and I learned a lot of lessons that influenced the outcome of this clothing system during that time. In 1984, I began working as a technical advisor for a number of climbing equipment manufacturers, and what that basically meant was that my job was to break things and then to help them design things that were unbreakable. Later on, was instrumental in developing the regulator system for Patagonia, and that was one of the first soft shell systems developed, and it was really the foundation for what became the Protective Combat Uniform. So because of this work on the Patagonia regulator system, the PM for SOF Survival at the Natick Soldier Center contacted me and that was in January of 2002, and asked me if I would be interested in helping him develop a new cold weather clothing system that brought the military clothing system up to speed, something comparable or even better than what was on the civilian market at the time. Since 1999, my wife and I have run a small company called Mountain Mobility Group, and we provide training to individuals within the Special Operations Forces. Most of this training is related to the mountain environment. We teach guys how to survive in cold weather, acclimatize to high altitude, and move around in the winter environment. But we also do some R&D on not only on cold weather clothing, but on more technical items within our areas of expertise. To diversify the training and offer the broadest possible perspective, we hire the most qualified assistant instructors and trainers to help us out. And that's why I've got Vince and Carolyn helping me. You can check out their bios in the special features section of the DVD. First, I'll introduce Vince Anderson, who is not only one of the best sport mixed climbers in the world, but 2005, he and partner Steve House climbed what is arguably one of the hardest routes in the world when they made a first ascent by a new route up the Rupal face of Nanga Parbat. Now, in Nanga Parbat, it's 26,650 feet high. It's in Pakistan, and the Rupal face is 14,000 vertical feet. And they climbed up and down the route in 8 days round trip. The face had never been climbed faster than about 3 months, and that would maybe make you think that a guy like that is invincible, but no one's invincible. And a couple years ago, Vince took a fall off a sport mixed route near Ouray in Colorado, went 140 feet, ripped 2 pitons out of the rock, and was caught by a 12 centimeter ice screw, and that's about how long 12 centimeters is. It's not really meant to take a 140-foot fall, but that's what you got. And after walking away from that, about a week later, he fell 12 feet from a route that would be considered relatively safe because it's bolt protected, completely overhanging. But the rope pulled tight, and he caught him and swung into the wall and shattered his talus. One of the reasons Vince is helping us on this project is because he participated in the first materials down select user jury in Bozeman, Montana in March of 2002. He's an internationally certified mountain guide and runs his own business, which is called Skyward Mountaineering out of Ridgway, Colorado. Carolyn Parker is as tough and capable as anyone I have ever met, male or female. And to illustrate that, I'll tell you a little bit about the Mount Taylor Quadrathlon, the 2005 version, which is it's a multidisciplinary race that starts off on a bike, and then you do a little running, and then some Nordic skiing, and finish snowshoeing. It's a 42-mile round-trip race with 5,000 vertical feet of elevation gain and loss. And sometime in the first, during the run, your calf muscle cramped, right? And instead of quitting like most people would, she gutted it out and suffered through a 25-mile-an-hour headwind on the bike to finish winning her age group, 7th female overall, in 5 hours and 14 minutes and some seconds or something, right? Carolyn balances her work between being a professional climber and a personal trainer. She's an AMGA certified rock guide, owner of Sun Toucher Mountain Guides, which is based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And she can kick your ass and she can kick my ass in the gym on demand.